What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Madden 16 commentary. Video from last night. Gedden was kind enough to remaster, re-uploading it now. Please give it a check. It'll be down in the description. Let me know your feedback and opinion on it. Other than that, please take a moment. Like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comments section. Twitter, Shutdown Safety is my username. Madden NFL 16, link in the description for the connected franchise mode. I want to talk about it because apparently it's back and deeper than ever at Madden NFL 16. But then the first thing we're met with is, quote, everything in connected franchise is done thinking about our players first, and these all-new features came directly from community feedback and playtest sessions. And I want you to keep that term in mind as we go along here. Features. I don't see a lot of new features. I don't see a lot of things added as a feature. So right away, the first thing that meets you head on is a new feature is now how you can play faster. To me, that's almost a game option. So let's focus on the first improvements for Sold. The connected franchise introduction flow has been reworked to get new players into the game faster. Get started in Madden NFL 16 connected franchise has been streamlined into 3 easy steps. So this is already part of my core problem with EA. You can't have this both ways. It can't be the deepest ever, but have also been reworked so it's faster for new gamers and it's streamlined into 3 easy steps. Now, I realize this may just be talking about an initial startup or a layout, but already you're not catering to the true fans of the genre if your first selling point is aimed at new players. Moving forward talks about drive goals, specific goals, tailor-based events to the current game to give players a unique challenge in each and every play. Dynamic goals in terms of driving the way you play the game. The more goals you complete, the faster your players improve. I mean, that's kind of been the status quo since the first time this whole connected franchise came out. But from a feature perspective, what are we adding in? In reality, it seems like all we've really had is a layout change to the system. Specific game events and tracking perhaps, but this is just visual enhancement to show us probably what's been running behind the scenes all the time. Moving on, post-play feedback. Again, sold as a feature, but apparently just visually something that really seems so basic in approach. The team listened to fan feedback and made it easier for players to see which goals have been completed in-game. This year, players will now see goal feedback throughout the mode. So again, we're not seeing innovation, we're not seeing gameplay, we're seeing a new layout that shows you the goals that you just completed that they told you in the game they're showing as you complete. Moving along, weekly goals. So again, this is a layout. This shows you the goals that you just met. So let's say the goal game display didn't show it to you, the post-game goal recap didn't show it to you, the pre-game goal outline, you didn't figure it out. Great, because now here's this innovation in gaming where you can already see this redundant and boring information presented a 4th different way with the entirely new goal loading screen. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. The next thing they talk about, this is even stated, the streamlined, quote, things to do screen. That's the name of it. Things to do screen, where despite all that deep gameplay that was spoken about, this is now touted as, quote, all information from last year's actions and home screen in one convenient location. That's the stuff that just irritates me to no end. Here's the other one, quote, one major overhaul this year is the all-new visual team depth chart, which allows players to easily see each side of the ball and make adjustments. That's a major overhaul done in this game. The depth chart screen. All the problems the game has, the focus was on the depth chart screen, which really had not been broken since it's been put into video games in 1990. Moving along, another big improvement here is the player card. So again, I'm going to ask you the same question. Apart from visuals that have always been there, where are the actual improvements? What has been added? Because up until now, that's not been spoke about. We're only learning about visuals. A game that suffered in this whole field of play due to not having proper computer-controlled stats. Player goals that expect a quarterback to meet the same expectation regarding everything in terms of quarterback. Not playing style for the user, not computer, not the quarterback you selected. It basically punishes you for not throwing 20 touchdowns while not understanding you outrushed every other quarterback in the league and scored 6 touchdowns on the ground. That apparently hasn't been touched on, but we've reworked a lot of other things. Continuing on, rework scouting. Rework scouting. Anyone that goes to Madden forums knows 2 weeks after this game is made public, there will be people that have published full draft classes and results, including the diamonds and the busts, and yet they're reworking this with no mention of randomization. No mention of possibly uploadable custom draft classes from the current Madden Share feature that's already in the game that I've seen tons of people asking about. But they're retooling the screen. You know, they talk about player cards that have been redone, which again is nice. I'm never against something having a fresh layout, but when that's all that's done, that's the problem. Layouts are visual. If you're not adding something to the game, it's still going to feel and play as stale as it ever was before. You know, fresh and clean layouts aren't enough anymore. You know, moving again, draft feedback, it's always been there. Members, a list that allow you to interact with others. Again, that's basic fundamental stuff. Interacting with people you're playing the game with. Why are you selling this to me? You know, sim a win. That's a commissioner tool that, and to be honest with you, seems like it could be entirely destructive when it's misused for something other than letting someone win a game when their opponent doesn't show up for a week and a half. And finally, you know, free practice mode, 2 tuning points in gameplay, that's it. As you can see, the game has left no stone unturned in Madden NFL 16 Connected Franchise Mode. I don't know how that's so, but it looks like a facelift to me. You know, I don't see passion or care into the work. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Appreciate you checking it out. Back in the week with more content.